Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OCVarsity Gridiron Show. Welcome to the SoCal Regional edition of the show. Steve, several Orange County teams, including four this week, are on the road for the on the road to try to claim a California state title, which
Yeah.
sounds pretty cool because we know that Cali ball is some of the best in the country, and
Yes.
Orange County a big part of that, representing the state on Friday and Saturday, and I think it's just a really impressive showing by Orange County. It shows this week's going to show the depth of Orange County football. Yeah, we got Santa Margarita, Carson Palmer, Trent Mosley in that defense doing their thing, at the top of the nation, winning Division One. But here we got a great team out of the Alpha League. We got La Habra, traditionally strong program in Orange County. Great coach in Frank Mazzota doing their thing, playing. We have a league champion and Beckman on a long winning streak, and then you got another team from Irvine, Woodbridge. City of Irvine always has good high school football. So this is a nice sampling size, and I think it definitely deserves to get excited about.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan of regional football or state football because I think it's too much football for people that age. When I was first watching NFL football, the teams were playing 14 games, and here we're looking at high school kids playing up to 16. I think it's a little much, but anyway, the kids want to do it. The people say, "Oh, the kids want to play." Kids also want to text and drive. Doesn't mean we should allow them to do it, But here we are. Kids have a chance to create some more fantastic memories for themselves, and it'll be, you and I have joyful jobs, and we're gonna bring our joyful to these regional games, and it's really interesting to me, Dan, when we get to this part of the play of football or basketball, baseball.
Sure.
Once you're out of the southern section, you win your teams that win their southern section championships. Are they hungry for more glory? Do they want to keep battling with their brothers and their sisters and go for more? Or are they done? That was that they reached that mountaintop. They're not that vigorous about continuing winning. They're satisfied, they're satiated, and this is just not a big deal to them. They've already won their thing. They've hit their goal. It's always interesting. We're going to find out who's still hungry, who's got it going, who's still pressing on the accelerator, and who's kind of hey, we did what we wanted to do. We're fine.
So let us get into it, Steve. Let's go to Friday night. We have three games on Friday night.
Good.
Division One Double A. Congrats to the Division Two Southern Section champion Los Alamitos. Griffins proved me wrong last week. Rallied to beat San Clemente. I always looking for an upset. Had a hunch on San Clemente, didn't come through, but great win by Los Alamitos from the tough Alpha League, and they played a great schedule, and they won a very tough bracket in Division Two. So they're going to take on Cathedral Catholic, Steve. Griffins are 12-2. Cathedral Catholic Dons are 10-2. They're the open division champions from San Diego. Got a player that we got to talk about here from Cathedral Catholic, rated as the number one junior, class of 2027 in the state of California, and that's Honor Fa'aleve, and he is a running back and safety, number one player on the board according to Rivals recruiting metrics for juniors. That's even over our guys like Marcus Fakatu,
Yeah.
junior, are going to be a reclassified 2027 lineman from Orange Lutheran. That's how high Owner is, and he's 1,000-yard rusher, and he's a guy that's got some hype. Orange County fans will know him because they've seen him probably in recruiting events, but he also performed quite well in a scrimmage this year against Mater Dei of all teams. Cathedral Catholic hosted Monarchs way back in August for the scrimmage. So, and then another interesting thing, of course, as great as Honor is playing this year, Lenny Abaro is a great counterpart, an Army commit, two-way player. all got all our attentions for all county. Interceptions. Had another interception last week, and Colin Crease playing well, and the Griffins got that, the tempo and their offensive line. They got a lot of firepower coming for this matchup. And then, interesting enough, Steve, there's even a common opponent between these two teams. They both played Granite Hill, and Cathedral won by 10 points, and Los Al won by 7. Who do you got in this one?
There's also a quarterback at Cathedral Catholic, Brady Palmer. He's a senior, committed to Minnesota.
Okay.
Completes 70% of his passes. He can heave it. 73% of passes, he can heave it. He's got, he's a pretty good player. 17 touchdowns and 3 INT. So he's tough. They can win it pretty good. And again, it goes back to like, is Los Al done? Did they? They were so happy to win that game because they lost to San Clemente 28-9.
Yeah.
Your pick was smart because San Clemente worked him, but I just had a feeling that Los Al. When I saw him play against San Juan Hills, I thought, oh my gosh, they really got it going.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are tough to pick, man, because we don't know that much about these other guys and these other teams. But if Los Al, I'm going to go with the Griffins because you had a feeling after that game when you're around those kids, and sometimes when you're around teams, you kind of get a feel about them. And I think Los Al's got that whole unity thing going. In fact, Ray Fenton word, Coach Ray Fenton, unity. What's special about this team, Ray? Unity. That's what he always says, unity. It looks like it's that kind of team, man. So I'm going with Los Al. They're playing the Vets, kind of a home ground for them. Los Al, that's my pick, bud. What do you got?
All right. I'm gonna jump back on, and I hope there's room on the Griffins bandwagon. I'm gonna pick Los Al after I jumped off last week. I have picked them in big spots this year. I think they are a hard team to prepare for with some of their diversity. They got the 2 running back. Tillis is coming off another nice game. Him and Albano can really run it. Both, pretty much 1,000-yard rushers. They got the tight end. And
Awesome.
and that offensive defensive line, they are good against the run. So it should be a great game. Cathedral has been a tough opponent. I know we've seen them in regionals before, so and they're going to be a very good team. They played a good schedule, so looking forward to this one on Friday. I'm picking Los Al. All right, Steve, let's go to Division 2 AA, and we got La Habra at Bakersfield Christian on Friday. La Habra, your Southern Section Division 4 champion, 11-3. Congrats to Coach Mazzotta on his OC record, tying 8th Southern Section title. He shares now companies with the legendary Bob Johnson and Bruce Rawlinson, and Coach Mazzotta is not done. He's be coming for that record next year with a lot of juniors back. Now, Bakersfield Christian, 12-0. Highlanders are facing a Road Warrior situation, Steve. In the semis, they were at Oaks Christian. And in the finals on Saturday night, they were at in Menifee taking on San Jacinto at Mount San Jacinto College. So this is a lot of travel. I'm wondering how the Highlanders are going to do with that. Their third straight road game. And then I start to look at a little bit about the schedule. Looks like Bakersfield Christian last played on November 21st, so they're coming off a bye. But I also think with La Habra, with their schedule that they playing, the Huntington Beaches and Cream Lutheran, especially in the Epsilon League, they're going to be well prepared for Bakersfield Christian. I was really impressed with Kavika Martinez running so well last week. Again, he's been on a tear in the postseason. The junior running back, junior DJ Mitchell, quarterback, dual threat, he's been outstanding. And I was very impressed, that La Habra's defense in the secondary really stepping up against San Jacinto and some good receivers and a pretty good quarterback. So that impressed me last week in their win against San Jacinto. And then I teased Steve that the last time La Habra was in the regional was 2015. That's when they won in a dramatic CIF final on a Hail Mary pass by Eric Barrier to beat San Clemente. They went to the regionals that year, lost in the first round at Camarillo. I was at that game. So that is my trivia for you. Who do you have in this one?
Are you going to Bakersfield Christian?
No, I'm going to be at Los Al.
Okay. You're climbing Mount Vets all the way
Yes.
up. Hey, La Habra, DJ Mitchell, what a dynamic guy he is. The running back, Kavika Martinez, Bobby Brooks, receiver, Noah Barajas, linebacker. It's a good group of dudes, man. And Mazzotta, maybe as good as any coach we've ever had in any sport, Dan. 8 CIF titles with different teams, running teams, passing teams, defense
Yes.
teams, everything. I like La Habra going up there. Get up there early, let the legs stretch. If you're at my age, if I'm sitting still for that long of a trip, man, I can't get out of the chair. But those kids get up there early, stretch it out, get up there and get a win. It's going to be cold in that Central Valley. It's going to be cold that night. So La Habra probably had some chill when you're out there, San Jacinto, right? So I like the Highlanders. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the La Habra as well. I think this Bakersfield team coming off the bye, being undefeated. This for Bakersfield Christian, look at the HS rankings. La Habra, I think, is probably the toughest, highest rated team that they have faced. But the Bakersfield Christian does have pretty good quarterback in Lincoln Adam
Yeah.
Ame. So he is a senior and a guy to watch it with Bakersfield Christian. So
They also got a receiver to watch out for, Dan. A guy named Michael Smith, 16 touchdown receptions over there for a Bakersfield Christian.
yeah, going on the road in the regional is a difficult challenge, but
Yeah.
I think La Habra's got used to it. There are further locations in Bakersfield, so I think but I still think La Habra can get the win. But I'm interested to see
All
how
right.
that game goes. All right, let's go. Finally on Friday night, and this is the game you'll be covering for the OC Register. It's Division 7 AA. San Fernando taking on Woodbridge, 6-8. This game's going to be at University High. San Fernando, Steve, is a city section champion. They have a dual threat quarterback in Julian Sarzo.
Yeah.
He led San Fernando to the Division 2 title in the city section. By the way, in that section final, they defeated Cleveland, which was the pick of LA Times and City Section Hall of Famer Eric Sodenheimer. He had picked Cleveland to beat San Fernando, but that is not how it went. So, but hey, Woodbridge, here they are facing an 11 win team, but we know that the Warriors have got, one of the great stories going on this season, Steve. They started 0-7. They played a pretty brutal schedule. Teams like, Pacifica and Portola from their league. And, they played Irvine. They played a lot of tough teams in that Portola. Played a lot of tough teams in the non-league season. Of course, Portola in their league. So got a lot of seniors on that team that have overcome a lot to win a CIF championship under first-year coach Connor McBride. So, there's another first-year coach, just like Carson Palmer, leading this team to a championship. That's Connor McBride. They got a
Yep.
freshman quarterback who's really turning heads in Waylon Stone. And who is your pick in this one? San Fernando, Woodbridge.
Man, I'm going to be at this game. Gosh, San Fernando, the way they played in that game. I think I gotta go with the San Fernando guys in this game. It's going to be pretty close when Woodbridge is going to be at home, but I think San Fernando. I'm impressed by the way the win they got over Cleveland. So San Fernando, I think so. Woodbridge is hotter than blazes, right? Weren't they like? What were they like? Fourth place team in that league.
Third place.
Yeah.
I'm tied for third.
Yeah.
Won a coin flip to get in.
With Buena Park, and University, all of them were 2 and 3 in the league. I remember now.
Yep.
But first. This is the only time I'm going to pick against the county team, and I just think San Fernando is going to get it done.
All right. San Fernando does, like we mentioned with Julian, their quarterback is got some passing capabilities. I got to keep with Woodbridge because I think they've definitely played better teams and they've seen a higher level in their league from a Pacifica, Portola, some of the other teams that I mentioned in Irvine. They've seen tougher teams on the season, ratings wise. So I think they're going to be well prepared, not intimidated. All those seniors hungry to to continue. They got Coach McBride's got a very veteran group. They seem pretty fired up. Program's been through a lot. Hey, why not keep it going and win a regional game at home? And one of the things, another thing I like about Woodbridge, Steve, is that one of the things that they aspire to and that's helped kind of been a model for them. From talking to Coach McBride, they look at the Portola model as what the job that Peter Abe has done with building Portola, a nearby school. They look at Portola as an example for them. And last year, Portola won their SoCal Regional, so and got to a state final. So I think Woodbridge is probably all in about this. They're following the Portola model. They got veterans, they got seniors, and they're gonna win for you on Saturday night and be fired up. I mean, excuse me, Friday night, Steve. All
Yeah.
right.
Hey, they were 0-7, by the way. Woodbridge was 0-7.
Yes.
They had pretty good teams. They played Calvary Chapel, played Irvine, they played Beckman.
Yeah.
The loss to Portola got crushed by Pacifica 55-7, something like that. Man.
Yeah. Beckman,
What
CIF
what a
champion.
run. And those guys didn't quit. They're 0-7.
Yeah.
And then they go out and they get a win. They lost to Buena Park in the game, in a league game, then beat Buena Park in the playoffs. What the heck is that?
Beat the number one seed in Saddleback. It's been
Yeah.
a miraculous
And
ride.
close games
Run.
too, like Montebello's a 1-point game.
Yeah.
We settled it by 2 or 3 points in the semis. Man.
Yep. So now they're back at home in the friendly confines of University. So I think they'll get it done. So speaking of Beckman, on Saturday night in Division 4A, the Patriots, who have the longest active winning streak in Orange County right now. How many games is that have they won, Steve, in a row?
8.
10 in a row is right. Beckman started 1-3. They've reeled off 10 in a row, and they're now 11-3, taking on Hillcrest on Saturday at Tustin High School. Hillcrest is 9-5. This one's interesting, Steve, because you got Beckman, Division 8 Southern Section champs, won an overtime thriller against Brea. Wildcats, way to go. You guys played very well in that game. Had a great playoff run. Doing some good things at Brea the last couple seasons for sure. So that was a quality win for Beckman in overtime against Brea. So they're the Division 8 champs. Hillcrest, they're the Division 10 champs in the Southern Section. They, oh, by the way, scored 63 points in their final to win. So this is an interesting game as well, Steve, because you got McHale, who's a 1,000-yard rusher for Beckman, scored 20 touchdowns. And
Yeah.
now Noah Nam, senior quarterbacks, thrown for 2,300 yards as well. So they got some balance at Beckman. And they're taking on a junior running back, Reza Ortiz, who's a 1,700-yard rusher,
Yeah.
junior. And just like McHale, seeming looking pretty physical guy, 5'9", 205 junior. He seems like he could be a force. He had 200 yards in that CIF final game. Who do you have in this one, Steve?
I like Beckman, Tchaikovsky, Noah Nam, like that group. Coach Giuliano's got it going on over there. I'm picking the Beckman boys to get it done.
Yeah. Hey, hottest team in OC right now. I think they're going to get their 11th straight. I think Beckman's probably a team that, nearby has got to take some inspiration from Portola as well. I think, I think most of those teams in that Irvine area, Beckman's technically a Tustin unified team, but
Right.
I think a lot of them are taking the inspiration, and I think they're going to be primed to go. When you're so hot right now, why not keep it going? Although Hillcrest, scoring 63 points, that was a 63-34 win against Tockwitz in the Division 10 file. But looking at a Southern Section Division 8 team, can they beat a Division 10 team? Yes, and I think Beckman has really played a very good schedule. From their league and their playoff run, getting tested like they have. I think they're ready to close it. So, hey, I just picked 4 OC teams. You picked 3 OC teams, all to be playing for state titles next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend, that 12th, 13th. And that's when Santa Margarita will also be playing on that weekend. We could have a lot of state champions on our hands, Steve, in a short amount of time coming up.
Yeah, the game, all the state final games on December 12th and 13th. We'll be playing in Orange County. Saddleback College will be the site of De La Salle versus Santa Margarita at 8 o'clock on that Saturday evening, and then hopefully they'll start it on time. And then probably one or two other games there too, right? And then Bueno Park will host some games at that stadium, and then also at Fullerton High School, they're going to host some games too. So be a lot of football here in Orange County that weekend, man.
Yes, and it's also exciting for me on a personal note because I am 2 games behind you in the race. We disagreed on one game this week, which was the Woodbridge game against San Fernando. So there's still hope for me in these next 2 weeks that I can maybe tie you. That might be the best case I could do. Wouldn't that be something if all the season we pick and we ended up in a tie?
It's always pretty close.
And then I can always also lean back to you did give me a bonus pick for one of my big upsets when I picked Santa Margarita beat Sierra Canyon. You did give me a bonus that I didn't take. I could always pull that out of my pocket. But now that's not seeming like such a big upset anymore. Santa Margarita being Sierra Canyon.
No, it doesn't look that way. Like Carson Palmer saying, man, we've been in fist fights week after week, and they were ready to go. And they looked pretty good against Centennial last week at the Rose Bowl. They looked really good.
Yes, they did. Well, it's always fun to keep talking football while we can. The season is just about done, but going to be some fun regional games. California Pride, SoCal, Orange County Pride on the line. So good luck to everybody, and be sure to come back next week for our final show of the OC Varsity Gridiron Show for 2025.